morning, students. A warm welcome to you all in online teaching session. So dear students, in a previous lecture, we have already studied the topic figures of speech. So, in today's lecture, we are going to revise the topic figures of speech. Do you remember how many figures of speech we have learned in a previous lecture? Very good. We have learned the figure of speech in a previous lecture. How many? There are two figure of speech we have learned in a previous lecture. Which are they? Alliteration and antithesis. Alliteration and antithesis, these two figures of speech we have already learned in our previous lecture. Now dear students, in today's lecture we are going to learn one more figure of speech, and we are going to revise all these three figure of speech in today's lecture. So which new figure of speech we are going to learn today? Any guesses? We are going to learn the new figure of speech, that is personification. Now, do you know what is personification? So, let's learn the definition of personification. Personification is when you give human qualities and human characteristics to an object, animal, or idea. I repeat. Personification is when you give human qualities and human characteristics to an object, animal, or idea. In simple words, personification means when human qualities are given to non-living things or non-living objects. It is said to be personification. Children, personification means what? It means giving human qualities or traits to non-living things. Here one example is given. With the help of example you will understand better. The man in the moon smiled at me. So the moon, it means the moon smiled at me. So does moon smile at us? No. Moon is a non-living object. It's not a living thing. So, the human quality of smiling is given to moon. Let's see the other examples. The flame of the candle danced in the dark. Now, which human quality is given to this non-living object? Very good. Dance. The quality of dance. This is a human quality which is given to non-living object. And what is non-living object here? Candle. Here the non-living object candle is given the human quality of dance. The flame of the candle dance in the dark. Does the flame of the candle dance in the dark? No. But just it is personified. Just the human quality is given. Now the next example, the moon was resting in the midnight sky. The moon is a non-living object that you all know. Now which quality, human quality is given to the moon? Very good. Was resting. So this is a human quality which is given to non-living object moon. Does moon is resting in the midnight sky? Do moon is resting in midnight sky? No. But just it is personified. This sentence is personified. That means human quality is given to non-living object. Clear students? What is the personification? Personification means giving human qualities to animals or objects. For example, the stars winked at me. So which human quality is given here? Winked. Does stars winked at us? No. But just it is personified. human quality is given to the stars. So dear students, there are few questions regarding personification in your combined book, and that I have not completed in our previous lectures because I have not explained to you all this personification concept. So I am just sending you all the image of the figures of speech of your combined book, which we have not completed in a previous lecture. So I request you all to kindly complete those questions and the answers which I am giving in your combined book in neat and clean handwriting, because it can be important in exam point of view. So whatever I am explaining you, especially the grammar topic, so you are supposed to complete in good and neat and tidy in your combined book itself. Now students, I hope you have understood the personification concept very well. Now more 2 examples will see of the personification, and you all are going to answer me that which quality is given to the non-living object. Are you ready for that? Very good. The wind whistled throughout the day. So the wind, it is a human quality. It is a human being. Wind is human? No, wind is not human. It's non-living thing. So it's which human quality is given here? Can anyone answer me? Very good. Whistled. So the human quality whistled is given to the wind. The wind whistled throughout the day. So the sentence is personified. That's why it's known as personification. How you will understand? Because the human quality of whistled is given to the non-living thing, the wind. To the wind. Human quality is given to the non-living thing, wind. Clear? Now the next example. Dance their way through the lawn. So dear students, the leaves of the trees, you can see in the image itself, they are dancing. So do the leaves dance? No. The leaves are non-living things, the non-living objects. So which human quality is given here to the leaves? Very good. Danced. The human quality is given dance. So dance is the human quality which is given to the non-living objects. That means the sentence is personified. So it is said to be personification. I hope so that you have understood this personification concept very well. Now let's revise the next 2 figures of speech, that is alliteration and antithesis. So students, what is alliteration? Yes, when words in a sentence, story or poem begin with the same letter is known as alliteration. Once more I repeat, what is alliteration? Alliteration means what? When the same sound occurs of the beginning of 2 or more words in the same line, it is called alliteration. So the examples are given. Adam ate an apple. So students, in this sentence, the first letter is repeated in every word. You can see first letter A is repeated in each word. That's why it is known as alliteration. Alliteration means when the same sound or the same letters occurs at the beginning of 2 or more words in the same line, it is called alliteration. Second example is given, Beth blew her blue balloon. So in the second sentence also, which word is repeated? In second sentence, which letter is repeated here? Yes, B. The letter B is repeated in every word. The first letter in every word is B. So, when the letters beginning is same in two or more words in same line, it is called alliteration. Going to learn today is antithesis. Come on, say after me. Antithesis. A-N-T-I-T-H-E-S-I-S. I repeat, antithesis. So what do you mean by antithesis? Antithesis means a person or thing that is the direct opposite of someone or something else. In simple words, antithesis means the opposite words which are placed side by side. So students, you can see here the examples of antithesis. Man proposes, God disposes. So in this sentence, in this proverb, you can see two opposite words. Yes or no? Yes. Which are they? Which two opposite words are given here? Proposes, disposes. So this is the example of antithesis. Antithesis means what? In simple words, when two opposite words are placed side by side in one sentence. Second example, many are called but few are chosen. So here again, many. The word many and few, these two are opposite words. Again, so these two opposite words are there in one sentence. They are placed side by side. So it is another example of antithesis. Let's proceed to the third example. Speech is silver, but silence is golden. So students, again, silver and golden. These two are opposite words which are placed side by side. So this is known as antithesis. So dear students, I hope so that you have understood the figure of speech which I have explained here today. Three figure of speech will revise today, that is alliteration, antithesis and personification. So today there is no written homework for you all. The thing you need to do is you have to go through your combined book and just revise the figure of speech questions which we have discussed in previous lecture. Today we are going to learn the new topic, parts of speech, which we have studied in previous year. In last year we have studied this topic. Do you remember this topic, parts of speech? Okay. So, come on, tell me how many parts of speech are there? Very good. Yes, very good. There are 8 parts of speech. Which are there? Adjective, conjunction, noun, pronoun, adverb, interjection, preposition and verb. Once more, say along with me. How many parts of speech are there? 8. 8 parts of speech. And which are there? Use, adverbs, conjunction, interjections, nouns, prepositions, pronouns and verbs. Very good. So total 8 parts of speech are there. And today in this lecture we'll learn one by one. With the noun. Noun is a thing, name of a thing or a person. For examples, pencil, cat, work, notebook. These are the examples of noun because they are the names of things or persons. Sentences, examples are given. This is my cat. So what is noun here? Cat, because it is a name of a animal. They live in Madrid. Madrid is the name of a place. So it is known as a noun. So noun means what? What is the function of noun? It is the name of thing or a person. Verb. What is the function of verb? Verb is an action. Examples: get, come, cut, open, like, etc. etc. These are the examples of verb. I like apple. So here like is a verb because it's an action. Come in please. So come in. So this is an action. That's why it's known as a verb. Adverb. Adverb means what? Adverb's function is, adverb describes a verb, adjective or adverb. For example, silently, badly, really, these are the examples of adverb. The sentences you can see here. My cat eats quickly. So cat is a noun because it is a name of an animal. Eat is an action. That's why it's known as a verb. Whereas quickly is known as adverb because it describes a verb. And what is verb here? Eats. Adjective. Adjective means, adjective describes a noun. Adjective tells us more about noun. For example, small, big, good, well, blue. These are the examples of adjective. Sentences are given. We like big cake. So, like is a verb. Big is a adjective because cake is a noun. It is a name of a thing. And which cake we like? Big cake. Big. It tells more about noun. I have 3 pencils. So pencil is a noun because it is a name of something. Whereas 3 is an adjective because how many pencils does I have? 3 pencils. 3 is an adjective. Next, pronoun. The most easiest. Pronouns replace a noun. Pronoun means what? Which is used in the place of noun. I, you, he, she, it are the examples of pronoun. He is very clever. So here instead of noun I had used pronoun. For example, if I say Ram is very clever, so Ram is a noun. But in spite of Ram, in spite of noun, I had used he. He is nothing but pronoun. So he replaces a noun. Pronoun replaces a noun. Preposition. Now what is the function of preposition? Preposition links a noun to another word. For examples, at, in, of, on, after, under, below, above, at, to. These all are preposition. She was hiding under the table. Now what is preposition here? Preposition means it tells the relationship between noun and pronoun. So where she was hiding? Under the table. So under is a preposition because it links a noun to another word. Conjunction. Conjunction means it joins 2 words or 2 sentences. Conjunctions are joining words. And, but, while, when, because. These are examples of conjunctions. Where sentences are given. I am very hungry, but the fridge is empty. So, I am very hungry, but the fridge is very empty. These 2 sentences are joined by the conjunction. And what is conjunction here? But. But is the joining word. It is known as conjunction. Next, last, Interjection. Interjection means short exclamation or sudden express feeling, sudden emotion, strong emotion. Oh, hi, ouch, wow. These all are the expressions, short exclamations and examples of interjection. Wow, what a beautiful car. So what is the expression here? Wow. So wow is known as interjection. Always keep in mind the interjection always end with exclamation mark. Understood, students? Understood the parts of speech? Now I am sending you all these parts of speech and one figure of speech personification, its definition and examples through WhatsApp. I request you all to kindly note down those in your English notebook in good handwriting. Thank you.